Right, this is the Neuro DnB remix contest announcement for the winner, and we're doing a tier list. So as you can see, we've got banger, decent, potential, getting there, needs work, and then we've got all the artists below who have submitted tracks, and I'm going to listen to them one by one, and then we're going to partly me decide and the chat decide where they belong in here, depending on how many people we have in the chat. But I am going to be very brutal in a critical way, if that makes sense. So I'm not just going to put you in banger just because I'm being nice. I'm going to put you in the where I think the true spot is, and then try and give you as much feedback as possible. I'll aim for like 3 key pieces of feedback per track. Right, so let's go in. We're going to go in order of submission date. And first we've got Conclusion by Goated Rollers District. Let me know if the volumes are okay, by the way, like the volume of my voice and of SoundCloud as well. Turn it down. Is these volumes better? So now I can talk over it. So, what do we think of this one? I thought the intro was really cool and atmospheric, and the build-up was pretty good as well. The drop, like, it sounds good in terms of mix down. Like, the drums sound pretty cool as well. I like the snare, but I think the actual sounds in the drop are just a bit too chaotic for me. And I'm not sure about the vocal, but maybe I just don't like that kind of music. Like this in the intro is really cool. Renegade says he likes metal and DnB separate. Yeah, I think it can work. I like the creativity. But for me, it's the drop that lets it down a little bit. But yeah, those drums are really nice. I would have liked some more groove with like percussion and hi-hats though. The kick and the snare are really good there. think that bass that's hitting, not well, that lead that's hitting on the first beat of the drop just sounds a bit weird. I can't quite put my... It doesn't really complement the basses, that fat bass that sounds really cool. Like the actual low bass that's going, that sounds sick. And the kick and the snare sound good. It's really hard to give feedback on this though, because like the mix down's good. It's just some of the sound selection is just a bit too much. I would say maybe try a different vocal, get rid of all like the screechy alarm effects, get rid of the that first lead style sound on the drop. So that thing there. That, and just try replacing it with like more fat basses like this one. That one there. But the intro is good and the other strings are pretty cool. Yeah, but then again, yeah, a matter of taste. Some people might love this kind of stuff, so it's hard to say. But from what I can gather, I wouldn't give this banger, I wouldn't give this decent. I'd probably put it in potential, because the actual production quality is pretty good. Where are you? I'm sure I've got you in here. Oh, here we go. I'm going to put you in potential for that one. Do you guys agree? Anyone got any other ideas of where that should go? Yeah? If anyone disagrees with me, just let me know. Okay, next we've got Nicholas, Without Your Love. Welcome in, Jamverse, by the way.
Nico.
First thing I'm getting is that kick drum is a little bit abrasive and it's a bit loud. Kind of takes away from the rest of the track. That sounds actually really cool.
Waiting for you like a rain in the summer day. I will miss you like I never missed with someone else. Hold my hand and tell me you don't wanna go away, 'cause I can't live without your la 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 and pretty face. I can't.
Thank you for the sub, DJ Venture. Thank you. So my initial thoughts on this track are the intro is really cool, especially from here to here. I really liked the intro here when that kick drum disappeared. But the drop has some nice ideas, but the execution just doesn't hit, unfortunately. I would say you need to go for a different drum pattern, Because at the moment it's like, it sounds weird. Like, let me get a FL Studio up. Just go for a where the hell are all my samples? Just like a normal drum and bass kick and snare pattern. So you got the kick on the first beat, and so here. Oh, it's not in 174, lol. So you got your first kick here, your second kick here, and then your snare here, and here. First kick here, second kick here. I can't see today. Like this. There you go. Rather than I think you've got it like this. Which just sounds a bit weird to me. You literally just go like this. I think it would already sound a lot better. Because it's like stoppy starty at the moment and you want some groove. Exactly what Jamverse said. Everything before the drop sounds groovy and then the drop hits and it's just a bit chaotic. It's probably as well, once you fix that, you'll need to work on the sound selection as well. So you need to get the drums to fit the instruments and the low end as well. So I would say sound selection, fix the drum pattern, and get rid of this kick from the intro. It's hard to give like precise feedback about the drop because it's just a matter of training your ears. Have you got like a reference track that you're using? I don't know if you're in the chat, by the way. Let me know if you are. But if you're not using any reference tracks, it's going to be hard as well. Good stuff for this kind of stuff is like Wilkinson, I'd say. Because it's kind of like liquidy. But I like the idea. The overall idea is good. What do you guys reckon? Where should this go in the tier list? And do you have any other feedback? I'd say just based on the intro alone, it sounds like a song until the drop hits, then it just needs work. So I think it gets getting there for Janverse. Oh, he's being really harsh. I was going to say potential. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's not as well put together as Go to Rollers District 1. There is potential from the intro. If someone sent me this intro and was like, make a drop with it, I could probably turn it into decent or banger. So maybe it gets potential because of that. It depends how we're rating it. I think I'm going to put it in potential, but just behind Go to Rollers District. Okay, one last listen to the drop. I'm gonna leave it in potential. Why not? Okay. Next we've got someone who's in the chat. Let's go. Endo. Bronade with an arc. Jeez, I already hear a sample. I'm sure that's the hi-hat sample. Liking those drums. So my initial feedback on this is it's got some really great elements in. Drums sound nice, some of those basses sound cool as well. Nice idea overall. But for me there's so much going on, it doesn't need to be as complicated as it is. If you just stripped it back and just focused on those really cool elements, I think you could make it even better. Also the effects are too loud. So that wobble bass there, that sounds sick. But do you need like that lead over the top of it as well? Yeah, I know what you mean, Jan. It's old school. The drums are as well. That snare definitely is. Right, so let's go back. So I think the main issue is you need to define your structure a bit better. So you, like, listen here. That just sounds completely chaotic to me, this section. Why not just have a defined build up and then it drops and it's that wobble bass? And I don't think you need that lead bass above it straight away. You could bring that in maybe like 16 bars later. So just like simplify it down and then... I mean, what do you guys think? Janver says, something that didn't work, maybe the bass is in the melody, but it's a good concept. Yeah, I agree. There's some really cool elements in there, like the drums and that wobble bass, and the lead when it's used in the right place. It just needs simplifying down. Whenever I make a track, like, I always just do this. So let me just... let me get my template open. You see this on my template? I always start like this. Intro, 16 bars. Breakdown, 16 bars. Build up, 16. Sorry. Intro for 16 bars. Breakdown, 8 bars. My brain is functioning on low fuel today. 8 bars build up. And then if I need to simplify it down even more, I'll just do this. And I might go like build up here, drop here. And then I'll just try and everything will be like that defined section. And I'll try and keep it as simple as possible. I hope that makes sense. So I reckon, yeah, I definitely agree with everyone. This is the best one yet. I don't think I could put it in decent. I think it would be at the top end of potential for me. Right here. But let me know if you guys agree or not. Geez, Brooksy in the chat. Yeah. Just keep it simple. Keep your instruments defined. How the intro works. You want a few instruments, a few drums, few effects, and then it progresses to the build up or the breakdown and then the build up, and then you have a pre-drop and then the drop, and everything's in its defined section. Brooksy, you giving a submission, yeah? Maybe I'm just too harsh, Renegade. Decent. Yeah, it's really hard to know when to remove something and when not to remove something. It can make things challenging. It takes a long time to figure it all out. That's why reference tracks are so good as well, though. If you've got a reference track, you can just refer to that. Right, next we've got somebody. Oh, there we go, at the bottom there. 2QNTLN.
Don't ask me why. They just did, that's all.
What was that outro? Selector. I actually really like the first part of this track.
That's all.
This bit here. That second bass mixed with that first bass, and then when the da-da-da bit comes in as well, it sounds sick. I really like the creativity of that. But it's not a full track, so I have to mark it down on that. And it is a little bit chaotic. There's just so much going on. it kind of just feels like a load of basses mashed together. But I like the idea, and I like that first like 2 bars. They sound filthy. See you soon, Renegade, for your stream. Yeah. When it goes bomb, 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 ba, 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 that sounds sick. So if you can use that first 2 bars and maybe simplify the rest down a little bit and turn it into a full track, I think this could have potential. But at the moment it doesn't feel like a full track, it's just like a drop idea that's been submitted. So I don't know where this should go. Everyone else has made a track, so I think I can't put it in potential yet until I hear it as a full track. But it's given me the biggest skank face yet. What do people think? Anyone in the chat got any opinions? Apart from lagging out. Come back to it. Let me put it in 1 for now and I'll come back to it. I'm going to put it in... Oh. I'll leave it in potential because it gave me a bass space, and then we'll come back to it. Right, next we have Frxetur. He did actually send me another track, which I told him to replace with this one, but I don't know if he did, so let's listen. Dan Dav in the chat, Wagwan. You know what, this drop reminds me of some of my drops when I first started making drum and bass, like after bassline. Two Dan Davs in the chat, what's going on? Yeah, the vocal's really sick, and using that sample from the pack in the build-up sounds really cool with that vocal as well. Ooh, I like that bass more in the second drop than the first one. That's actually what the first drop was missing. You hear the groove on the new bass in the second drop. That's what was missing from the first drop, and it made it sound a little bit weird. But the groove in the second bass is like filling those gaps.
And now switch it up.
So that second drop has redeemed what comments I was going to make about the first drop. Janva says the filter out between the first drop and second build/breakdown. Yeah, you've just put a filter on it, so that does sound a bit weird. I wouldn't do that in my tracks. You want to make it smoother than that. I could show you one, but normally you don't put filters, just like flat filters on it. You'd like slowly remove some drums or filter out something else, or do like risers and then some down filters. Depends what element you're going into next. But let me show you what I mean by the drop. So listen to the first drop. You hear how the drums kind of sound a little bit robotic? There's not many hi-hats, and it doesn't sound as groovy. So I was going to suggest like switching up the drums, but in the second drop you've filled that gap, those spaces with the basses. So now it doesn't sound so robotic. So maybe just do this second drop as the first drop, and then you might have something really good on your hands there. And you could also go in and fix the drums as well. I think some of the hi-hats and the percussion, not the kick and the clap. The clap is a little bit over-processed, but I think it works in the second drop. I mean, you could try and replace the clap as well, because it is being what's the word? It's being drowned out a little bit by the basses. Could even try a snare. I don't know what would work. In terms of the intro, it sounds like it's distorting to the max in this intro here, so you might need to turn the elements down here. But the actual build-up sounds good, so I'd say fix this intro. And turn that riser down a little bit. That riser is super harsh in my ears. But yeah, that second drop is sick. That gets to go. Because of that second drop, it gets to go. I think this is going to be the first decent track. What do you guys think in the chat? And we got some good feedback for that one as well. Keep at it though. This is some promising stuff. I know you've sent me quite a lot of music, so keep going. And you'll improve little bit by little bit. Right, we have got Tragic Mike now. I think, did you win the last contest? Did Tragic Mike win the last contest? I'm pretty sure he did, or the one before. I can't remember which one now. Let's listen to this. Take notes, last person. I forgot how to pronounce your name already. This is how you do an intro. You see how nothing's distorting. It sounds nice. Nice definition between the intro, the build-up, and Endo as well. Take notes as well. And that's all you have. That's also how you do transition between drops as well. Like every 16 bars, you see how sick that transition sounded. This structure is on point for this tune. I don't know what's going on with the drop. It sounds like there's like low end missing. Something sounds off about the drop.
Once again with the
Maybe I need to listen to it on my iPhone instead. It sounds really weird on my headphones. But yeah, this intro and build up is really good. Transitions are really good. Vocals really cool as well.
once again with the
Something off about the drop. It doesn't really fit for me. I don't know why. Maybe it's the drums.
once again with the once again with the
So that's it. That transition, the variation. Just test my headphones. If we listen to the drop of this one again. I think it's the low end mixed with the drums. Like everything is perfect about the structure, the intro, the build, the vocal sound, the transitions between the drops, the variation in the drop. It's just like the drop sounds itself, the drums and the basses. They sound really good, but they don't sound good at the same time. I don't know, like the basses themselves sound really cool, but when they're mixed with the drums, it doesn't sound right. It sounds like, I don't know. I need to look at the project, I think, for this one. I think it might be a mixture of lack of low end and lack of like groove in the drums. Maybe it's just like the sound selection itself when they're all put together rather than the individual sounds. If the drop worked better, then this would easily be a banger. But because of that, I think I have to put it in decent. I know you guys might have some other opinions. What do you think? Someone said it's their favorite. Janva said it's their favorite. Someone else said decent. Someone said, Endo said decent. DJ's Venture said banger or top side of decent. Do you think it's better than the last track? Because I think if it had the same level of drop as the second drop of the last track, it would easily be a banger. But the drop's the most important element of the track. If these guys collabed, it would be insane. Maybe they should collab. So if you guys are watching, Tragic Mike and Frxetur do a collab together. One of you is smashing out drops, the other's smashing out everything else. Yeah, it depends if we think the drop's more important than the rest. I think based on what Janvers has said, it's more consistent. It's more polished as a producer. As an overall production, it's more polished. So maybe Tragic Mike takes it just. We can come back and listen later. It depends what other submissions we have as well to go through. Next we have S Razor, Otherworld. Let's listen. Gee, that's sick. The intro is really cool and creative. I like the use of the beta pack as well. But the drop just didn't really hit in the way I was expecting it. I was expecting a completely different drop, to be honest. Janva says some of the hats might be a bit too sharp as well. I would honestly try a different drop with this. Yeah, cohesivity. Well, this drop's a little bit different, isn't it? Yeah, that piano sample, if it's a sample, is really good. I was expecting some like dance floor-y liquid style drop with like some really nice drums and some like, I don't know, like a fat respace or something. The drop is cool, but it just doesn't work with the track. And yeah, I know what you mean about some of the hi-hats, they're quite loud. And I think the snare could probably be a little bit changed up, maybe. Yeah, I reckon just figure out what your reference track is and go for a different drop, because the intro itself is cool. But yeah, this second drop is pretty cool. Also, with stuff like this, you need to like define the sections. Because this bass comes in and it's kind of like its own little section, but the instruments from the previous section just keep playing over it, so it just feels a little bit messy. But when that piano comes in, it sounds sick. That's my favourite part, I'd say. You see how it's kind of defined as well, because that section stops, the basses stop, and then the piano comes in. What is going on in the chat? Drum and bass farmer. I'm not doing any tune requests, guys. Oh, and text to speech probably doesn't work because that was from lockdown. That was from like 4 years ago. Yeah, dance floor track, that's what I'm saying. I would say keep this intro and make a new drop with it and use some like dance floor. Maybe, what would you say, like canine style drop maybe would work with this. If you get those canine drums on it, that would be cool. And some basses like that. But they're really hard to get right. Redeem, take a shot. All this stuff is from like years ago. All those redeem options on Twitch. So where do we put this one? Probably in potential. Maybe like here. Maybe I'm being too nice. Maybe some of them need to go down to getting there. Right, next we've got Dot. He has been very consistent in submitting tracks to these remix contests, so appreciate the support, and let's listen to it. Great use of the sample pack. Sounds like there's like a filter on the master or something. Jeez, what's this then? Jeez, switch up. What I like about this track is you've kept it simple. So it automatically sounds good because it's simple. I don't think it was too late, this one. 3 days ago. But it doesn't, I don't know, it feels a bit, it doesn't feel like a song, because there's like 3 songs mixed in one. But I like what you've done using the beta pack as well. You should have just done this as the track. You should have started the track here, and this should have been it. If you'd made that into a full track there, I think it would have been way better. That was pretty cool, that. I like the idea. So what do we think about this one? There is something wrong with the mix down as well. I don't know if you've got like a filter or some sort of plugin on the master channel that's making it sound a little bit weird. This is your favorite? Wow. I don't think I can put it in decent because it isn't really a full track. It's just like some really cool ideas put together. But if he'd submitted like a full track of this, I think it's got potential here. Turn this into a full track. Just this from here to here. The rest of it can go away and then just focus on this bit. So if we're doing it based on that, maybe I'll put it here, because once you've done all that, I think it could get into decent. Alright, if anyone agrees, let me know. Next we have EPVDA, Crocante Bob. Now this sounds like Neuro.
Ik ben Wout en dit is mijn eerste beeld van de album.
I want to know why you've picked a clap there and not a snare. The clap is like so high in my ears. I feel like a snare would be so much better there, like a Noisia style snare. The thing about this kind of music is you want it very low end heavy, and that clap is very high end heavy.
Alright, what do you say I done? You don't remember me, do you? No. When you hang a man, you better look at him.
Yeah, I think the drop is just a little bit too chaotic. That main bass. A lot of leads and not a lot of basses and low end. But the intro is super cool. I like the creativity. More bass, less leads. And try adjusting those drums to make them more low end heavy. Try a snare instead of a clap. I think the vocal might be a little bit too loud on this section. Maybe not. Really creative though, this track.
This is my best built on the album.
Yeah, focus on the low end more. Just a little bit too chaotic for me. What else do people have feedback wise? Are you in the chat, by the way? I don't know if you're in the chat. Structure, atmosphere, sound selection, first drop all hits the spot for me, but second drop is just too heavy. Okay, fair enough. For me, the intro and the build-up sound really great, and then the drop just kind of doesn't hit right for me. So you're basically just going to have to like dissect your track and simplify it down and sort the low end out and try and get the drums sounding better with better sound selection. Just try a snare. I think that would definitely help it immediately. I think Noisia have like a pack on there on Splice as well with some snares, and you could probably just take. You've got so many names. What's going on? Right. Bimsy now. I think we've only got 2 left, and we've got Torkz as well. Don't let me forget that. He sent one in the... Oh, and Atom sent one as well. Jeez. Okay. Right, let's get through these last ones.
When you hold me
Listen to this track. You can really hear the kick and the snare. So that instantly makes it sound more polished. The kick and the snare sound really good, but the hi-hats don't really fit. You need some more groove in this part, especially as it's a breakdown section. The best person who does breakdown drums is K9. Oh, that was K9 Light It Up, by the way. To me, this sounds like someone who maybe's started producing recently, but has got a really good ear for it. Because the sound selection you've done is pretty on point, but it just feels a little bit like unpolished, the overall track. But the way the drop hits, the kick, the bass, and the snare, that sounds really good. I probably wouldn't go for this kind of melody myself because it feels a little bit chaotic. But the overall idea and how it sounds is like pretty good in terms of the quality of the sounds. So I'd say whoever this is, keep going. This is some promising stuff for sure. Has anyone got any feedback? Very DJ Gov or Mackie G style. Yeah, I'll give you that. What is that emoji you've put in the chat, Endo? It's just like a snowball for me. Maybe I'm blind. Where do I put this? I'm putting everybody in potential. Let's put it in potential as well. I don't know what position though. Maybe like here. Right. Stowls? Is that what I say? Or S-Dowls? It's time. love the drums. I can see the vision behind this track for sure. I'm trying to think the kind of feedback I can give you. Because I'm guessing you might be quite new to producing. This kind of thing you've got in the intro where it gradually gets louder, it doesn't really normally happen in tracks. Like, you would not really see that anywhere, so I wouldn't do that. That's why at the start I was looking to turn it up, because I was like, what's going on? What you can do is just, have you got the project template from... It's on every single one of my videos on YouTube. Just go and download it. If you're on Ableton as well, it works for Ableton. And just define each section. So like the build up there. Can you move markers? I've never been able to move them. Oh, you can move it. No. Oh, what? Don't know. Just really define each section, and if you can't figure out a section, just remove it, like the breakdown, like we did earlier. And just do like what I always do is I'll just do to here when I'm producing. I'll never do more than that until I'm ready to finish the track, because there's no point. So just work on an intro. If you need a breakdown, work on a breakdown, work on a build-up, then a drop. And just rinse and repeat. Put your reference track starting here. Make sure you have a reference track. Who's your favorite artist? Yeah, if you didn't use the project template for this one, it's going to be harder. You need as much guidance as possible. Sotter or Turno. I don't recommend Turno because his tunes are really hard to replicate. I have not been able to make a breakdown video on him yet. Maybe Sotter then. Sotter's pretty hard as well. You've gone for the hardest difficulty. Oh, 1991. Oh yeah, he's got some good tracks. All those are good artists though. They all make really high quality music, so you can definitely use them as reference tracks. Which 991? yeah, just download one of the tracks and give it a go, like copying elements and then just learn from it. Because once you need to get your structure sorted first, and then you can build on that, and then the rest will come slowly. But the important thing is you've got the vision. Like, I can hear the vision, it's just the execution you just need to improve. Focus on sound selection as well, like really thinking, does this element work in this section? So say you're making the intro, don't just randomly put stuff in. Make sure it's in key. Make sure you define what drums should go in there and what drums shouldn't. Put an element in, test it, see if it works. If it doesn't really work, take it out, try something else. A lot of trial and error is the key to music production, unfortunately. I feel really bad now putting you in getting there because I've been nice to everyone else. Who was it earlier that I said should go in potential and then someone else said getting there? I should put them in there so you're not there on your own. All right. Yeah, if you've got any other questions, let me know as well. I'll try and give you feedback, but get the reference track downloaded, get it in that project template and just analyze it loads and then do some nice sound selection and work on a track. Also, don't spend too much time on like one track. If you're struggling, try another reference track and just keep going, because the more projects you create, the faster you'll learn and you won't get stuck on certain areas. Right, we're down to the second to last one because we've got Torkz in the chat as well. Actually, Torkz put his message in first, so I should probably listen to this one. Right. Let's listen to Torkz. He said it's not a submission, so I don't know what that means. Are you still in the chat, Torkz? I think we can class this as a submission, can't we?
Get off the illusion, rock. The art of letting go.
That is filthy.
The art of letting go.
Torkz won the last contest, by the way, guys. The last one we did, he won it. I think you can see why.
The art of letting go.
I don't know if that track's still up there. I want to play it again. It was so good. I don't know if he ever finished it. Is the snare sidechained? It sounds like it's not coming through like as much as it should. Like you can hear it, but it doesn't sound like as defined as in that noisy track earlier. But the actual sample itself is really nice.
The art of letting go.
You see that transition as well. That's what Tragic Mike did really well earlier as well with the transition. Similar to that. Yeah, that is pretty good. I think we're going to have to include that in the decent section. It's like Frxetur and Tragic Mike. I can't really. What do you guys think? Where do you think this one should go? I want your guys' opinion before I put it somewhere. Because it sounds sick, but it's not a full track. So can I give it decent or banger if it was a full track? So you think it's the best track then? See, I'm feeling that as well. That's probably the best drop we've heard. But it didn't have an intro yet. It wasn't meant to be a submission. Right, I'm just gonna put it in decent for now, and we can come back to the top ones and decide later. Let's listen to Atom's track though. This is the last track.
Lights the way. Lights the way. Lights the way. Or some distant memory. Maybe someone's telling me I should hang on. I feel it now. I hear it now. And I swear the energy is getting louder.
That Reese is nice. Jeez! What a track to finish on. This was pretty good. Shot of beer. Where's that coming from? Yeah, I was gonna say the same. That fake drop is just completely unnecessary. I was like, yeah, let's go, and then I had to wait another few seconds. I think this is what the theme of today has been. People overcomplicating things. Just simplify it down. Get the best elements out of it and just use them, and you'll have much better track on your hands. But this respace is sick. I don't think I've got any beer. I can have a look in a minute. Yo, gifted subs? You didn't have to do that, thank you. I really appreciate it there. I'm not live on Twitch enough though for gifted subs. Is this to try and persuade me to go live more? I appreciate that. Thank you. I need to think of feedback, because there's a lot of potential in this track. Yeah, here, just drop it here. I don't think this pre-drop extra bit sounds very good anyway. But that main bass sounds good. I think it sounds a little bit too loud. It's kind of louder than the rest of the elements. How are you mixing down your basses? Are you using the project template and pushing everything to the max, then just bringing it slightly down on the bass bus? That would help a lot if you did stuff like that. And this main bass here, there's a crazy amount of reverb on it, which is completely unnecessary. You want reverb to be there, but not really be noticeable. Like, the reverb on that is crazy. That bass there is really nice as well. And keep it flowing. You've got so many different things coming in and going on, and the flow of the track kind of gets messed up a little bit. And the transition there is a little bit abrupt as well. You see how much is going on? It's really hard to like keep up with it. I think you just need to go through it systematically and think what's working, what isn't. Make sure the drums are like the forefront of the mix and everything else is like, what's the word? I can't get my words out today. So your drums are like the forefront of the mix, they're consistent, and then these other elements are coming out on it. Yeah, they're fake every time. You just need consistency throughout the drop. It's a bit stoppy-starty, that's the word. Stoppy-starty. And there's a lot of reverb in other elements as well. It sounds like there's some like Atmos reverb going on there, which either should be a lot quieter. I think if you just turned it down a lot and maybe EQ'd out some of the low end. But yeah, it has a lot of potential, for sure. I would probably play this out if the changes that I was talking about happened. Yeah, that... If it had dropped into that... to this bass. Yeah, exactly what Janver said. Euphoric and dirty. It would be perfect once it's polished off. Are you in the chat, by the way? Are you 16DT? Yeah, so it just needs polishing. The idea is there, and you've got the elements in, the battery space, that really cool bass. The drums sound good, they're just not consistent. You just need to do the mix down right, simplify it down, get rid of that pre-drop, annoying pre-drop that doesn't really do anything, kind of makes it sound worse. Fix your reverb as well. Too much reverb going on. And then I think you'll have something really good. And then when you're finished, if anyone makes any changes or finishes the track, put it back in the contest submission tab, and I will give more feedback on it until you're happy with it. Until I'm happy with it. Okay, definitely going indecent. We have to decide a winner now, though. Who wants to decide a winner? I should do like a... No. You can't really do a voting system because people can just ask their friends to vote for them. I think it has to be me that decides. So we've got Tragic Mike, who had the overall best consistency. Frxetur, who had that second drop, was just sick. Torkz, who just made a drop and a build up, but the drop itself was probably the best. And then Atom, who's made a really overall good track. The whole, I'd say it has the most consistency throughout for everything. But if it was polished off, it would probably sound maybe the best. Yeah, I think if we're excluding Torkz because he didn't finish the track, then I think it has to go between Tragic Mike and Atom. And then I think Frxetur would have to get third place. Do you see, I'm leaning towards Atom because the drop just didn't hit hard enough for me, like on Tragic Mike's one. It just wasn't there for me, and I think that's the most important part. Whereas Atom's had elements, but then so did Frxetur. Oh no, it's too hard. Basically, there's no like clear winner from the submissions that have been done this time. Last time it was easily Torkz that won it from his track, but this time it's a little bit closer. Coin toss. I could just do a vote in the Discord for everyone that's watching. I don't know if that's fair though. Maybe I should do that, a vote. I feel like it would be fair. How do you do a vote on this? Vote. What? It says I'm not even logged in. Fuck. Can we hear all three again? Okay. Let's get them up again. So who have we got? We've got Tragic Mike, Atom, Frxetur. So this was... I think it's that second bass, you know, that doesn't sit right with me. And maybe the snare drum as well. Just doesn't fit the track. That vocal is sick though. And then we've got Frxetur. I'll play the second drop because I was... And then we've got Atom. He is in the chat. He's CLXQZ in the Discord. I'm sure he would be down to collab. It won't let me post the name in because I'm not signed in apparently. I don't know how that's possible. And then, so let me play Atom. Here's what I would say. I'd say Atoms needs the most work, but it has the most potential out of all of them. Does that make sense? So I feel like Tragic Mike's is going to be hard to get it to sound any better than it already is. The second drop here is already sounding pretty good, so it's almost maxed out. This one is a little bit messy in the drop, and if I was looking at the project, there's a lot I could do to make it sound better. And then once it's done, it would sound probably the best. But I do really like this drop. I think that's pretty cool, the second drop. So I would... Oh, it's close, yeah. It's hard. I think you're right though. Atom probably takes it. You know, I think I like this one as well, you know. I'm sorry, Tragic Mike, but I think you're going to have to go to third. I think Atom, the most potential. Frxetur, I just really like the second drop. I think it sounds dope. And it's just the drop for Tragic Mike is letting it down, but the rest is really good. So I think I'm going to have to do that order. Yeah, definitely clean it up, that Atom, and then send it in the Discord again when it's done. I'm sure everyone would like an update. If everyone is happy, I think we're going to go that order. Atom first, Frxetur second, and then Tragic Mike third. But really impressive entries from everyone. And thank you everyone that took part. We'll be doing another one. I don't know when. Maybe next year, start of next year probably. And it'll be a similar sort of format unless anyone's got any other ideas on things we can do.